Guys, I wanted to do this quick video before I head out the door. There is another video coming up later today, but this one is basically about, how I feel about California as a whole. I think things are terrible there, because it's all changed so much since I left. I am was a native resident of that state, born and raised in the northern part. And, I'm hearing so much crap that's happened and is happening currently in that area that I lived in. One thing I wanted to briefly talk about was there is zero professionalism when it comes to certain companies and how they treat their employees. Okay? When you work for a company, it is unacceptable for them to tell you that you want to quit so you can go to school to further your education and be something else, get a better job and stuff. They are not supposed to sit there and say, well, you ain't gonna make it, and dog on you and put you down. That's not right. That ain't right at all. It's not in your boss's or supervisor's place, depending on who's talking to you, to tell you those things. That is their personal opinion, and that should be left outside the job, because when you're on the clock, you don't talk to your people that work for you like that. I don't care what your reason is. It's not right. And, you got to be careful what you say to an employee, because if you say something that goes way beyond the employment lines and it's slanderous and stuff, you could end up in frickin' court and get sued. Badly sued. That. I'm not saying one particular company in Cali in general would be sued. I'm talking about anything. Just say McDonald's, for an example. A manager says that to a crew member. Says something like, you can't go back to school because you won't make it. Or says something even worse than that. That crew member could quit on personal reasons for that and then turn around and sue McDonald's for that. Because it could be a slanderous statement saying that you'll never do anything to better yourself, or you won't be able to better yourself. People can't be saying that about people. It's not right. And people are sue happy now as it is. And that's just giving people motives to sue. And as far as personal life and things that happen off the clock when you're not at work, and you're home, whatever the reason might be that you don't go to work, that is not your boss's, supervisors, or anybody else's business, or their opinion should not matter. What you choose to do or why you chose to stay home or what the reason was, it don't matter. That's not their thing to worry about. If somebody has someone that's living with them, maybe just a normal family member, a spouse, or whoever it is, they choose to stay home because they're sick anyway and they're helping their spouse or family member because they need it while they're there anyway, that shouldn't matter because they're not even working then. They're at home. What difference does it make what they're doing at home? That doesn't matter. And don't get me wrong, I can understand, a boss or supervisor saying, a phone call while you're on the clock is not priority. But never tell somebody that their spouse or family isn't a priority, because you don't know their family. Don't think that that's acceptable, because it's not either. It's crap. That's terrible. You don't ever treat somebody like that. You don't fill somebody's head like that with so many negative things and think that they're going to be okay with that. Because I wouldn't be okay with that, being talked to like that. You know, I would tell the person where to get off at if they're going to talk to me like that. You know, I wouldn't put up with it. You know, the day I quit, if I quit that job, that's when I'd let them have it. You know, I would tell them what side of the stick is up, because, you know, putting up with verbally being bashed on like that while you're employed by them, that's wrong. You know, and it creates so much more stress on somebody that's already having troubles. They might have their own personal problems. You don't need to add to it by being like that when they're at work. That's just wrong. But aside from the lack of, like, professionalism with, like, bosses and stuff like that in work environments, you know, it just seems to me like the landlord situation there is screwed because of the way they do things. Like, if you have a criminal record, you can't rent in California at all. Serious. You have one thing on your criminal record, even if it's a misdemeanor, something stupid, they will refuse you. Most of them will refuse you. Which I think is dumb, because you should be able to explain exactly what happened, and if it's a dumb offense, like it shouldn't have been put on your record, I think that the landlords should, you know, work with you. That'd be the right thing to do, but they don't. So that's another crappy thing about that area. The welfare system is screwed, because if you're on Social Security disability benefits, I just found this one out too, you cannot receive food stamps there, which I don't understand that, because a person on SSI disability does not make all that much money. That's common knowledge. You're just barely making enough to pay your bills and maybe buy a little bit of food if you can afford it. What is the big deal with people with SSI? Like, if you're getting straight SSI, depending on when you got your benefits, you're not getting very much. Because I know here, I'll say about here where I'm at in Pennsylvania, I'm only getting like below $740 a month. And that doesn't pay for a lot. Just barely my bills, and that's about it and what I need, and then it's gone. You know, doesn't last long. And I get food stamps here, and I'm saying I'm not freaking like taking resources from somebody else that needs them, because I do need them because they help me stay afloat, but people in Cali don't have that option. I don't understand that. It's BS to me. Another thing, couples in Cali can't get married if they're both on SSI, if one's on SSDI, it doesn't matter. If they're both receiving a check from SSI, you can't get married, because guess what? One of you loses your check. That's another BS thing about it. Like I said, this is multi-things that is wrong with the Golden State here. Sorry. It's alright. But anyway, I think I'm done. I just wanted to just throw this out here. I'm not trying to bash on purpose or anything like that. I'm just, stating what I noticed that is wrong about where I'm from, basically. So please don't take this as a bashing video, because that's not what I meant it to be. It's just what I've noticed. And as far as the employment thing, just going back to that just for a minute, that is wrong and should not happen. And I hope that stops, because nobody should be treated like that, no matter who they are or who they work for. Nobody has the right to talk to people like that. I swear, in this day and age, people in the whole world have lost lost the sense of humanity. It don't exist anymore. And that's sad. But it is what it is. So, anyway, y'all have a good one. I'm going to go get this uploaded and head out the door. Another video coming at you later today or early in the morning. So, talk to y'all soon. Bye.